The integumentary system. The integumentary system is comprised of the skin, nails, and hair. Integument means to cover. It is the covering of the entire body. It weighs about 6 pounds if you would remove it from the human body. It contains about 30% of the body's blood. It acts as storage for blood, and acts in thermoregulation as well as protection. Certain elements are unable to penetrate the skin, such as water. Certain things like certain pesticides and chemicals can, but most things, due to the skin's makeup, it is impervious to penetration. Your skin is made up of a few different layers. You have the epidermis, which is going to be made up of a series of keratinized cells that slowly lose water and die as they reach the top of the skin layer. They are epithelial tissues. They are stacked one on top of each other. You have the basale, the basement layer. This is where mitosis occurs, where the cells split, create more cells, and as they move up in layers, they begin to lose water, and the organelles begin to become keratinized. This happens, and the organelles then proceed to die and can no longer complete their function, and so they continue to lose water, and they eventually all die. So your skin, due to the fact that it's dead, will slough off. The top layer of skin is all dead. So you actually breathe in each other's skin cells as you just stand next to and walk next to other people. It's kind of gross. Underneath that, you have the dermis. The dermis is going to be a connective tissue, unlike the epithelial tissue on the top of the skin. It's going to connect the epithelial tissue and that basement layer, that living membrane, or the living layer, down to the subcutaneous or the hypodermis region. The hypodermis is subcutaneous fat that's going to connect the skin to the muscle. Within these, you have numerous different structures. You have certain cells that can sense temperature, like Merkel cells. You have little things called erector pili muscles, and what these do is they pull on hair follicles and cause the hair to become erect. You have the hair follicle itself and the hair bulb. So you have a shaft of hair that is grown within a canal. The bulb is a living place, a living area in which it receives nutrients from a blood supply. You have a series of sweat glands that occur in the skin. You have your normal pore is going to be a sweat gland. It's going to be a blind tunnel or a blind tube that coils at the bottom. This is going to produce sweat. Mostly it's going to be water that's produced, with a handful of waste products like urea, uric acid, and salt. This also helps in thermoregulation, as the production of sweat allows evaporative cooling. So it absorbs the heat off the body, it evaporates, removing heat from the body. There's another type, so that is acrin, and there's apocrine. There's ecrin and acrin. Acrin is going to be oil glands or sweat glands that produce onto the hair follicle itself. You then have sebaceous filaments and you have sebaceous sweat glands that secrete onto the hair follicle as well. These can cause sebaceous filaments, blackheads, and pimples because they are a thick, yellowish, viscous liquid that is secreted that contains fats and proteins. As you sweat, the different organisms and bacteria consume and digest these, and then they produce odor, which is where we get body odor from. You have your touch sensors as well in the skin, as well as your, like I said, your Merkel cells, which are going to sense temperature. The skin also does a phenomenal job at healing. It is one of the only organs that'll completely reheal itself, like the liver as well. And I believe that is all.